Is Printful the right print-on-demand production partner for you? So what's going on, guys? In this video, I am going to be talking about one of the biggest print-on-demand production partners out there, and that is Printful. So I've been in this space of print-on-demand for the last 3 years, and I've processed hundreds of orders with Printful, so I've seen a lot of the highs and the lows. Now, if you guys are new to my channel, my name's Ben. I talk about e-commerce, print-on-demand, and making money online. But in this video today, my goal is to break down the Printful platform for you guys, give you the high-level information so that you can make a decision on if this is the right print-on-demand production partner for your business. Now, if you guys aren't already familiar with what print-on-demand is, I'm not going to spend a ton of time going into that in this video. I have another in-depth video on my channel about that, which I'll link hopefully somewhere on the screen here. But in a nutshell, print-on-demand is a form of drop shipping. Now, I know a lot of people get scared away when they hear the word drop shipping these days, but it's a little bit different. Essentially, you upload different designs that you've created onto your production partner's platform, and they will actually put your design on a mock-up, so a t-shirt or a pair of leggings or a hoodie, and then you can put that item on your storefront. And when someone buys it, your production partner will actually take that order and ship it out to the customer. And that means you guys don't have to buy any inventory up front. And best of all, this is a relatively streamlined, easy, automated process, and it's extremely scalable. So it's very easy for beginners or advanced e-commerce sellers, and you guys can get started today or this weekend with your very first print-on-demand business. So this is one of my favorite business models for 2021 and beyond. It's very, very easy and user-friendly. Now, in this video, I'm going to cover what exactly Printful is. So I'm going to show you guys what Printful actually is. We're going to talk about creating your first account with them and actually integrating your first storefront. So I'll show you guys some of the different integrations. And then I'm going to talk about the different products they offer and shipping times, how long it actually takes for them to print goods and ship them out to your customer. And then finally, towards the end of this video, I've actually ordered a few sample products. So I will actually be showing you guys what those products come in, what they look like, and my take on the quality of those products so you guys can get a feel for what your customer is going to experience. And at the very, very end of this video, I'm going to give you guys kind of the pros and cons of using Printful, and also tell you about some of the other considerations to think about when you're deciding on your print-on-demand production partner. So with that all being said, guys, I will put timestamps to everything down below in the description in case you guys want to hop around, but let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, guys, so what exactly is Printful? So we already kind of touched on this in the intro to this video, but Printful is essentially the back-end service provider for your print-on-demand business. So generally speaking, your customer is not really even going to know that you're using Printful, or if you choose to use some other print-on-demand production partner, they're kind of in the background. But essentially, Printful is what makes everything work for you. So as we see here on their site, essentially they allow you to create and sell custom products online. Now, they have a lot of other services too. So they also do warehousing. You can order your own sample orders just directly for yourself if that's something you want to do. But in a nutshell, their main service is that they're allowing us to add different designs or artwork to a variety of different products. I think they now have over 250 different products, so everything from t-shirts to wall art, to jewelry, phone cases, and everything in between. We'll touch a little bit more on the products in just a bit, but they have a ton of different options. So depending on what you guys want to sell, they're probably going to have a product for you. But you can always head over to printful.com and check out the full catalog. But again, we'll look at this a little bit more in depth. So exactly how it works. Essentially, you take your e-commerce store, and they have a ton of different integrations. So let's say you're selling on Etsy or Shopify or whatever it is, and you connect your store to your Printful account. Now, what happens is then a customer goes and buys a product from your storefront. So maybe they buy a t-shirt, for example. The money is then sent to you. So you've already collected the money from that customer on your Shopify site or on your Etsy store, whatever it may be. And once that happens, Printful will actually receive the order, and then they will print out the product and ship it out to your customer. So essentially, once the order is collected, it's automatically pulled into Printful, and Printful is then going to take it, print it out, and ship it to your customer. And in most cases, they're gonna automatically notify your customer of the tracking information. So you literally don't have to do anything after you've actually set that initial product up. So it makes it really, really easy for us to essentially create a scalable e-commerce store without having to go buy, inventory up front or anything like that. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, they have a ton of different integrations. So here are some of their integrations. You guys can see Shopify, Etsy, all the big players really. So they have Amazon, eBay, etc. I've used some of these. I haven't used others. So I've used the Shopify, Etsy, eBay, and Amazon integrations. There's a lot of other ones here I haven't yet used, but depending where you guys are selling, there's probably an integration that's actually going to work for you. So that's in a nutshell what Printful is. So next we're going to actually hop into the computer screen, and I'm going to show you guys how to actually connect to your first store and add your first product. All right, guys, so now that you've actually created a Printful account, we just need to go ahead and actually connect our first e-commerce store to this. Now, we already went over that there's tons of different integrations, but once you've actually logged in, you're gonna see a dashboard kind of similar to this. And what we wanna do is head over to the stores tab over here. And what I'm gonna be connecting is this Etsy store that I've actually made for this example. So obviously you guys can see this is a very simple turtle themed store. I already have a few products on here, but for the sake of this example, we're going to just add a new product so that I can walk you guys through this process. So what we need to do is first make sure you're logged into whatever the storefront is that you guys are actually connecting. So this could be Etsy, Shopify, any of the other integrations. And then from your dashboard, go over to the stores tab. And you guys will see I already have a few stores in here. So we just want to scroll to the bottom, and where it says choose your store's platform, click on choose platform. And then you'll be prompted to choose from whatever platform you're actually going to do your integration for. So in this case, Etsy. And we're just going to follow the very simple step-by-step process. This is very quick and easy. If you guys need help, you can obviously watch any of the content they have. And I will say Printful also has a really good support team, so you can always open a ticket with them if you're having any issues. But we just need to go ahead and click on connect to Etsy and allow access, and then it's going to prompt us 2 more times just to continue. So I'm going to continue and then connect to my Printful account, and that's it. Now our storefront is actually connected to Printful, so we've kind of completed the first step in this process. Now before I actually go through adding a new product, I'm just going to show you guys over here in the settings. You're going to want to make sure you have this set up properly. So first of all, you can change out any of the information about your store. If you want to change how the store name appears within Printful, you can do that here. You can also change the default settings for how products are shown, so the product availability. So you can actually focus on products with faster delivery times or with just more product options, even if there's slower delivery times. And then most importantly, here's where you're going to add your payment method to this store. So for example, I have my credit card added onto this. Now, I get a lot of questions from people saying, how does the actual payment exchange work? So to make a very simplified example of this, let's say someone went to my Etsy store and bought this turtle shirt, and let's just make it an even $20. So let's say they paid $20 for this shirt. What's going to happen is Etsy is going to charge the customer $20, which is then going into my Etsy account. So I have $20 in my Etsy account, which then will get deposited to my bank account. Now, separate from that, with Printful, they will then pull the order in and they'll start actually processing that order to ship out to the customer. Now, Printful will charge the billing method you have on file. So they will charge my credit card then for the cost of goods. So in this case, we'll say that the cost for this shirt and shipping it is $12. So they're gonna charge my credit card $12. So I've collected $20 from the customer, and Printful has charged me $12, which leaves me with $8 as profit. So that's kind of how this works, but it makes it really scalable for you guys. So even if maybe you only have like $100 of credit on your credit card, you can still get started with this business model. Obviously, you'll want to monitor everything and make sure it's moving, without any issues, but it is very easy to get started. And finally, you can remove this store if for any reason you guys want to remove this store later on. So those are just some basic settings, but next we need to actually add a product. So what we're going to do is head over to the stores tab again, and then we're going to navigate to that store we just added. So our Too Many Turtle shop, and we're going to hit add product. Now in the next section, I'm going to go over the different product options and just talk about them a little bit more in depth. So for the sake of this example though, right here, they're actually going to give us the option to choose what kind of products we want to add. So we can add all kinds of different products. So for this one, we're just going to do a simple t-shirt. And then we just need to choose which t-shirt we want to add. So we can add basic t-shirts, we can add these polos, and then we need to choose, okay, what kind of color options or size options do we want, etc. So you can see the starting cost. So we have anything from $13 to $28, etc. Now for this example, I'm going to keep it easy. I want to choose the shirt that's going to give me the most opportunity for profit, and that's going to be this Gildan 64,000. So I'm going to go ahead and select this. Next, we're brought to the mockup generator. Now, I have another video on creating designs for print on demand. I actually have several of them, but just be aware that Printful does have a mockup t-shirt creator within its software, which is really easy. So if you guys don't have a lot of design experience, this is one cool resource as well. So you can actually go ahead and create simple designs in here by adding text. You can add clip art, etc. So if you want, you can create designs within Printful, and you can also add things to the front, the back. You can do outside labels. You can also do inside labels. So within the inside of the t-shirt, you can do left and right sleeve, etc. But for the sake of this example, I already have a design. So that's gonna make it even easier. I'm just gonna go ahead and upload this design by clicking here on the mockup. And then you can either upload directly from your Google Drive, which I do recommend, and most of the time I have my designs within Google Drive, but this one I have to upload from my desktop, so no problem. I can go ahead and find that file and upload it here. And that's gonna go into my Printful file library. And then from there, I'm just going to select this design and hit place. And you guys will see how easy this is. It's just going to create a mock-up with my design on it. So just like that, and then we can resize this. So if we want it to look bigger or smaller, whatever it is, we can also add text to this from here. And that's pretty much it. So it's very, very simple to do this. Next, I'll normally look at the color options. So maybe I see that, let's just look and see how this looks on this white color. Okay, so that's all right. So I want to do all the color options, but if we wanted to, we could turn certain color options on or off. We could choose the different sizes we want to make available, etc. So once we've done that process, we just go ahead and proceed to the mockups. And the great thing is Printful offers us all these different mockups that we can use. So this is what's going to get published to our storefront. So as an example, you guys will see here, we have a few different mockup options that you can see. So we're just going to choose which one we want to act as kind of the main mockup. So for this, I'm just going to use this black one right here. And then we can add additional mockups. So I can add additional ones if I wanted to. So maybe I want to add also the white, and I'll put it on one of these models. And maybe I'll do this one. So I can add numerous different mockups in here as well. So again, these are just small features that make Printful such a great platform. It's very easy to use. Next, we go to proceed to details, and this is where we're going to add information that we want to appear on the Etsy listing. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy some of the information that I already have over here. Obviously, we want to spend time and optimize these, and I have other videos on this, so I'm not going to go into this for the sake of this video, but I'm just going to give our new product here a title. And then if I wanted, I could add additional information down here in the description. But Printful is automatically going to publish the basic information about the product that you've selected. So this Gildan 64,000 shirt, Printful is going to give the customer some immediate information here. And then we can elect to keep a size guide on this, or we can take it off. I like to always add the size guide because it makes it just easier if the customer has questions. Then the size guide will also appear on this listing as well. So that's it. We can choose any other options here. And then finally, we can add tags. So again, these are things, specific to Etsy that are going to help customers actually find this product. So I'll just do something simple like turtle shirt for now, and we can proceed from there. Finally, so we're almost done. Now we choose our pricing, how much money we want to make. So you guys will see again, with Printful right now, this shirt is going to cost me $7.95. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is there is shipping on top of this. So shipping for t-shirts, for example, I know is generally going to be $4 plus $1 for additional products. Again, we'll go over this in the next section. So I want to make sure I have room for that. So for example, in this example, if I price at $19.95, my profit is going to be $12 before the shipping cost. So after that $4 shipping cost, I am going to make $8 on this product. But let's say this looks good. What we can do is go ahead and hit submit to store, and then it's going to take about a minute, and this product will actually get published over onto our Etsy store. So we're going to wait about a minute, and this should show up on our Etsy storefront. Normally this will show in the back end. So if I go to the shop manager, again, this is specific to Etsy. It's going to be a little different depending on what platform you guys are selling on. But if you go to listings, this is going to be first pushed as a draft. So right now it hasn't actually published. And then I will have to manually publish it from the draft status. But again, this might be different if you guys are selling on Shopify or one of these other platforms. But that is how easy it is to actually add a product in here. Again, guys, it is so simple to do. So now we can see this product has actually published. And let's just go ahead and refresh this. And hopefully over here, so now we see there's one in draft status. And all we need to do is go ahead and hit this and click publish. And that shirt will be published live to our Etsy store. Now, I'm not going to do it for this example just because I don't want to get charged for 20 cents for this publishing fee, but it will then be published over onto our Etsy store. So that is how simple this process is. So next, let's go ahead and hop into looking a little bit more in depth at some of the products and shipping times that Printful offers and cover the shipping fees. All right, guys, so one of the big considerations with Printful is going to be the cost of the goods that you want to sell. So depending on what you want to sell, is it the most effective place to actually sell products? Obviously, there's a lot of other factors that go in there. So obviously reliability, etc. and the different products that are offered in the first place. So within the dashboard, we can actually go to the product catalog down here, and they have, again, I believe over 250 different products that they offer right now. So everything from t-shirts, so they have men's, women's, and children's clothing. They have hats, they have accessories, home living, and then they have different collections of assorted products. They have stickers, etc. So generally speaking, depending on what you guys are interested in offering in your storefront, there's a good chance you'll find it here. There are some products that they maybe don't have. Like I know there are other print-on-demand services that offer things like shoes, some of these more unique options. But what I will tell you guys is Printful does seem to be adding new products all the time. You can see they just added, for example, these custom engraved pet tags or dog tags, whatever have you. But from the Printful site or your dashboard, you can go to this product catalog and kind of navigate through what you're interested in selling. So we were looking at some of the t-shirts earlier, so we can then filter within the t-shirts or menswear. We can actually filter by what we want to sell. So for example, jackets, embroidered shirts, t-shirts, polo, all over shirts, tank tops, etc. They also have sweatpants, joggers, underwear, shorts, all kinds of different stuff in here. So I encourage you guys to go ahead and spend some time looking through this yourself. But generally speaking, they have a ton of different product offerings. Now, what you really want to look for within here and kind of the things I just briefly touched on prior to this, if you click into any section, so let's say we're looking at t-shirts, what we want to look at here is the cost and then the availability and the different color options. So again, there's a lot of things you're going to want to consider. So for example, if you're selling t-shirts and let's say you've decided you definitely want to sell just short sleeve t-shirts, there's a ton of different options, right? So let me just go ahead and filter by t-shirts. So within just t-shirts, I can see that they have 21 different options here that would ship to the US. And we can see that they have all kinds of different price points. There's different reviews on these. So for example, this one's gonna cost us $13.25. Maybe this is a slightly higher quality product, but it doesn't have as many color options. Obviously the cost is a little bit higher. So for example, with this $13.25 price point, that means that I might have to charge $24.95 to my end user, to my end customer, right? Because again, the big thing to factor in here is the shipping cost, which we'll touch on in just a few minutes. So within this, you're going to want to spend some time and kind of think about what products you want to sell and then look at the costs for those products. So if we want to sell t-shirts, we want to look through here and look at the different price points. And we'll see that a lot of them are kind of in this $11, $12 price point. And again, we might want to consider what kind of quality are we looking for. Again, it depends where you're selling and what kind of customers you guys are getting. You want to sell things that are going to be at a competitive price point that allow you to make a profit. And so that's why a lot of times when it comes to t-shirts, I will normally elect to sell just this basic Gildan 64,000 because the price point is $7.95. The average delivery time is within 6 to 9 days. That's business days, and they have most of the size options. Now, I will tell you guys from personal experience, I'd say about 90% of the orders I get are either on a black t-shirt or on a white t-shirt. Majority are on kind of the darker colors. So normally I can be safe with just sticking to, the basic color options that this Gildan 64,000 t-shirt offers. But if you guys want to offer more product colors, then you're going to have to consider moving to something like this Bella and Canvas 3001, which obviously is a little bit more expensive. They have a bigger size range here, so extra small to 4XL, and they have an average delivery time that is similar. It might be a little bit longer, 6 to 10 days versus 6 to 9 days. So again, depending on what product category you guys are looking at, these are all the things you're going to want to start looking at to take into account when it comes to Printful. Now, as far as shipping goes, shipping is going to be different for all the different products, but essentially we can go ahead and look at the shipping costs. So let me just find where it shows these. Here we go. So under how it works, you can go to shipping up here, and it's going to give you a breakdown of the rough shipping costs. So for example, on t-shirts, essentially how this would work is if a customer orders one t-shirt and it's shipping to the United States, the first t-shirt will have a shipping cost of $3.99. So that's going to be added on top of the product charge. Obviously, if it's going international, that's going to be a little bit different depending on where it's headed to. And then each additional product within that same order is going to have a cost of an additional $1.25. So if a customer comes into let's say my Etsy store over here, and they purchase one of my t-shirts, it's going to be $7.95 for the actual t-shirt, and then an additional $4 for the shipping. However, if they purchase 2 t-shirts, it's going to be $7.95 times 2 plus $3.99 for that first shirt, and then another $1.25. So obviously, the more products that we can sell to each order and increase our average order value, it's going to help us make more money at the end of the day. So again, whatever products you guys are interested in offering on your store, make sure you spend a few moments and just get an idea, a sense of how much it's going to cost to actually ship these out. So phone cases, we can see the first one's $3.25. And then the additional one is 75 cents, because we want to make sure we factor this into our pricing on the storefront side, so the pricing our customer sees. And again, I'm not going to go too far into this because every different platform that you guys are selling on has kind of different customers and different approaches to doing this. So some people offer free shipping, some people charge for shipping. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this, but this is important to take into consideration the different shipping costs. And almost every print-on-demand provider out there is going to charge somewhat similar shipping fees. So make sure this is something that you guys do look at when it comes to considering, what print-on-demand production partner you want to choose. So with that being said, we've kind of covered some of the product costs and just looking at what products are offered on the print-on-demand platform with Printful. So now let's go ahead and hop into looking at an actual review of kind of some products that I have ordered. So I'll just show you guys really quick before we do that how to actually place a sample order so you get an idea of the workflow behind this. So if we go back to the dashboard, let's say I just wanted to create an order for myself. So first of all, we can go to this orders tab over here. This is going to automatically be pulling in all of the orders from our different e-commerce channels. So you guys can see I have a number of different Etsy orders that have pulled in here. Most of these are already fulfilled, but I have one right now that's actually in production. It's waiting for fulfillment, and this is all automatically pulled in. But let's say I wanted to create an order for myself, or maybe I sold to someone at a flea market or at a local retail store. What we can go ahead and do is click on create a new order up here, choose the storefront we want to create this order from, and then we can create a basic order or we can create a sample order. So one of the really nice things with Printful is they do offer sample orders, and as you guys can see here, this will give us a 20% discount. We can do up to 3 of these every single month, and this is really for the purpose of essentially getting product into our own hands to kind of experience the quality, how it actually shows up, all of that jazz. So we can go ahead and create a sample order here. And then we just go ahead and go through the process that we kind of just went through with actually adding a product in within Printful's dashboard here. So I'll just do one quick example. And this is a product that I've actually ordered a sample of. So this is actually going to be, let me just double check, but the Gildan 64,000. And then I actually added, let me just see if I can find this design. So I've added this design here, and then we would go ahead and make sure that it looks good. We would choose the color and the size option. So in this case, I ordered a large white and hit continue. And then it's going to prompt us and ask us where we want this shipped out to. So after I place this order, this is going to move into the production phase, and then it'll get shipped out. We'll get notified of the tracking information so we can see where this product is, and eventually it'll show up at our doorstep, or if you've ordered this for a customer or anyone else, this will show up at their doorstep. So that's how easy it is. If you guys need to create an internal order for yourself, it's very, very simple. And as you can see here, since this was a sample order, we will be getting the discount. So that's it for the products and kind of the shipping speeds. Now let's actually go ahead and take a look at the sample products that I've ordered. So I'll see you guys in 1 sec. All right, guys, so the time is here. Now we're actually going to take a look at some of the products that I've ordered from Printful for this video. So I ordered these products on a Tuesday in January, and they actually showed up at my door 1 week later, so on the following Tuesday, so 6 business days. So it was pretty quick. Obviously, we're in kind of a slower period of the year, so just be mindful that during busy holiday seasons, this fulfillment time can take a little bit longer. So I ordered 2 different t-shirts and then a phone case, just to give you guys an idea of how these products actually show up in their packaging, and then what the products actually look like, and then compare the design to the actual products, how they actually turned out. So the products I ordered are number one, the Bell & Canvas 3001 on a large white. and I ordered a color swatch design to get a feel for all the different colors. Then I ordered a large black shirt with actually that Day of the Dead design that I showed you guys earlier in this, and that was on the Gildan 64,000, so that fairly inexpensive t-shirt. And finally, I ordered a phone case with the same Day of the Dead themed design. So these products, again, they took only a week to get here, and this is the packaging that they actually showed up in. So all of them came together in this one simple package. And what I wanted to point out, obviously I've blurred some of this stuff out for you guys, but the nice thing about this is that kind of in this top upper area, we can actually have our own storefront name put up here in this area. So normally if you guys have your storefront in there, so in my case, in this example, we use the Too Many Turtles shop, that would be what is showing up here as the ship from, and then it would have Printful's actual address. Now you guys can actually customize this stuff, so you can actually change out the return address that shows here. I have a separate video on how to actually do that, but that is just kind of a nice branding effect that Printful gives us in terms of how our customers will experience these products. So again, this is the packaging, pretty clean, clear, showed up just perfect. So now let's go ahead and actually open this up. All right, so first thing I want to point out is the packing slip. This is the packing slip that comes with this. Let me just make sure I cover up any address information on here. So obviously the packing slip that comes with this will have any details about the products that are in the actual package. Now, the other cool thing that Printful allows you to do is put a custom logo on the packing slip, again, to kind of add that additional effect of the branding of your storefront. Now, I have not done this in this case, so this is a very basic packing slip, but that is one cool feature that Printful does allow. So in terms of the actual products, I'm gonna just show you guys how they actually showed up. So first we have the phone case. So everything, first of all, is individually kind of bagged or wrapped up, which is super nice. But first we have the phone case. Now I'm gonna throw the original design somewhere up on the screen again so you guys can kind of see, but let me go ahead and actually unwrap this. All right, so I finally got it opened up. So here is the phone case. So as you guys can see, the design came out really well. There's no flaws in terms of how the design actually appears on here. There's no issues where the print hasn't actually gotten all of this. I'll try to show it as close as I can, but the quality is quite good in terms of the design getting actually printed out onto the product. This, just speaking on the phone case in general, is a very standard phone case, so there's nothing really super notable. The main thing I wanted to show you guys is how the packaging arrives and then actually how the design looks. In this case, 10 out of 10. The design is on here, very well done. And again, I'll throw the original design up on the screen somewhere just so you guys can see kind of how it printed versus the actual design. So the phone case, they've done a very good job with. This is something I'm gonna use in my day-to-day. So that is the phone case. Next, let's look at the Bella & Canvas. And I just have to look at my notes. This is the Bella & Canvas 3001. So it is the color swatch shirt. And you guys can order these. I actually highly recommend getting a color swatch shirt. This is the first one I've ever ordered from them. But this gives you an idea of if you actually create a design with a specific color, how it's actually gonna get printed out and then look on the shirt. Because sometimes with the process they use, which is full dye sublimation, the design color can look a little bit different than what the actual color is on the shirt. It might not look as crisp, or maybe the hue or saturation is a little bit different, but in general, the color swatch shirt is a great way to kind of look at what the product is gonna look like when it's printed out. So just to give you guys an idea, here is the color swatch shirt. So again, we have all of these different color hex codes on here that you can see. And this just gives us a feel for what this actually looks like. Now, I will tell you guys just one thing I'm noticing when opening this, and this is pretty common with full dye sublimation, there is a very slight scent to these. Now, this goes away normally after you wash the product once, sometimes twice, but there is kind of a very light vinegar scent, but that's gonna happen pretty much with any full dye sublimation product. I've tried a bunch from a few other print-on-demand companies, and this is normally very common even with big companies like Merch by Amazon, etc. It's just part of the process and how it works. But again, just to hold that up one more time, this is the color swatch shirt, and this is on the Bella & Canvas 3001. As far as the fabric goes, feels amazing, feels really soft. Obviously, I'm gonna have to throw this in the wash and see how the colors hold up, but generally speaking, from my experience with these products, the colors also hold up very well. So one thing I do recommend is get one of these color swatch shirts for yourself, just so you can see how the actual colors are gonna get printed out on the final product. So again, this is the Bella & Canvas 3001 on white with size of large. So finally, let's look at the last one, which is the Gildan 64,000. And this is normally the kind of most popular shirt that I use and sell on my storefront just because of the price point. So again, it comes in the nice individual wrapping. And then if we open this up, so it's pretty cool, but I actually just noticed that this actually came with a little card in here. I'll just read really quick, but it just says, "Congratulations on your new apparel. It has been created with the latest in shirt printing technology. All inks are water-based and eco-friendly. This gives each print a soft, comfortable feel. You may notice some discoloration or white residue, but don't worry. This is a special solution used for printing and can sometimes leave marks during the drying process. These are not stains. They will wash off after the first wash cycle." So this is actually something new. I didn't know they even did. But that's nice just because, you know, sometimes customers get something and they might see like a little spot or they might notice something and freak out about it. So the fact that they're addressing that up front, that's just a nice touch. But again, this is the Gildan 64,000. And I'll throw that original design up just so we can compare the colors and how it actually turned out. And with this one, guys, I actually did, so I got the front print. So there's the front. And again, we notice that there's no issues in terms of the print quality. So I'm just looking at this up close. There's no little specks or areas that the print didn't come out. It's actually come out on here quite nicely. But what I actually did for you guys to get a separate kind of feel or take on this is I actually added a sleeve print. So this is actually the sleeve. So in this case, the right sleeve of the shirt. So this is an example of kind of how it would look on the sleeve print. So let me try to get this so you guys can actually see. So again, good quality on the sleeve as well. And I think I got this also printed. So on the back, I actually added a little bit of text. So this is how the back might show up if you guys add this. Now all this stuff can be resized within, again, that mock-up generator. But the cool thing is to see that you guys do have these options. And finally, I just got an example of if you do want to get an inside label done. So I just added something very, very simple, but here is what a custom internal label might look like. So let me try to get this a little bit closer. So you guys can see, pretty much you can add your label on there. You can add custom text. This was just custom text that I did within the Printful mock-up generator. But overall, good quality. Just wanted to tell you guys again, there is that light scent of kind of like a vinegar with this, but the fabric is extremely soft. All of the print areas that I'm looking at, it looks like they've done quite well. There is, you know, some of the, on this, it's probably hard to tell via the camera, but this is a little bit faded. It's not as white as I thought it was gonna be. But again, you know, this is something that kind of happens with the full dye sublimation process. But overall, good quality on the t-shirt prints. I think they turned out extremely well. But let me know what you guys think, obviously, in the comments. So I will tell you from my personal experience, I've had over 500 customers on Etsy selling this exact shirt. So this Gildan 64,000, and I have gotten, I think, 99 out of 100 ratings that I've received for this product have been 5 stars. I did have one customer that had an issue with the print quality, so we just reshipped them a new one. So not just from my experience, but also from the customers that I'm selling to, I've had very good experiences with this shirt. And again, this is the one that is $7.95. So this is actually the kind of cheaper option when it comes to t-shirts. So overall, that is kind of it as far as the sample review. So we got the 2 different t-shirts and the phone case. To me, this is all a win. They're all good quality. The print quality seems really good. But again, guys, let me know what you're seeing on the other end of the camera. I'd love to hear your feedback as well. Or if you guys have used Printful, let me know in the comments. So finally, I'm going to move into the next section and tell you guys kind of my overall feelings about Printful, the pros, cons, and other considerations. All right, guys, finally, as promised, I'll give you kind of my overall take on Printful. So thanks for watching that video. I hope you got some value out of that and that was helpful in determining kind of if you want to use Printful. Before I get into my pros, cons, and considerations, I will tell you guys, if you decide maybe you want to look at some of the other options out there, I do have a blog post about all of the other different print-on-demand production partners over on my blog, which I will link to down in the description as well. So in terms of kind of the pros, first of all, I will tell you guys that Printful has been the production partner of choice that I have used over the last 3 years. Although I do use a few of these other ones that are out there as well, Printful is handling the majority of my orders. Now, with that being said, what I like about Printful is they have a ton of different product options. So normally, if you guys are going with pretty normal kind of products and you're not going for anything specialty, again, like print-on-demand sneakers or anything like that, you're probably going to find your product with them. The second big pro for me is that they're extremely reliable for the most part. Now I say for the most part because one of kind of the cons was we did see a lot of issues, especially when this whole world situation came up with the disease, I will say, this last year. And that caused some issues with fulfillment times. And I will say that with Printful, around the holidays, the production times can get extended quite a bit. So that's definitely something you're going to want to consider. But On the other hand, a kind of pro and redeeming quality for Printful is that they have gotten a lot better. So they are opening new production warehouses. And I will say 2 years ago, I did have a lot of issues with the production times. They would take a lot longer. I'd have customers reach out and be upset about the order times or production times. But this last Christmas, so Q4 holiday season, they were extremely, extremely good. I thought they got everything out really well timed. So that is kind of a pro and con. Now the other pros, they have fulfillment centers worldwide. So they have not only in the US, but they have a Mexico warehouse, they have Canada, they have them all over Europe and a few other locations. And as I mentioned, they're opening more all the time. I also like a lot of the functionality. They allow you to do a lot in terms of adding designs to different locations, whether it's the front, the back, interior, the side sleeves here as well. You could use the mock-up generator in Printful. And then they also have a lot of different discount programs. So once you guys start selling in volume, you can actually get better pricing with Printful as well. And the nice thing is that they have great customer service. So I have had a few issues where a shipment might have been lost in the mail or never arrived at the customer. And they normally are pretty good about helping out with that, and they will respond very, very quickly to any kind of customer service related issues. So I think that it's an extremely powerful platform and very easy to use. And the fulfillment times are pretty quick. They're comparable to any of the other print-on-demand providers in the industry. So what are the cons? Well, I already mentioned one, which is kind of those extended fulfillment times. I would say the biggest con with Printful is normally going to be the price point. So a lot of people will talk about this, is that Printful does have kind of a more premium price point. We looked at some of those t-shirts in this example, in this video, and we saw that a lot of them are kind of at a higher price point, which means you have to charge more to your customer or take less of a margin, a profit margin. For me, I can get away with, feeling okay about this because I know the quality is there. And again, leveraging, some of my past experiences, out of maybe 100 customer reviews on this exact same shirt here, 99 out of 100 of them gave it a 5-star review in terms of very good quality print. Everything was right with the order when it got there. I did have one order and that was it that had issues, and we just reshipped to that customer. So in terms of quality, I think it justifies the price point, but for some people, that might be a bigger consideration. There are other companies out there that might offer, a better price point on certain products, and that might be a situation where you should consider some of the other options out there. So in terms of overall considerations, you're going to want to think about what products do you want to sell, what markets do you want to sell into, and make sure that the print-on-demand production partner you choose has fulfillment services in your local market. They have the product that you want to offer, and then the price point. Make sure the price point is going to work with the type of customer that you guys are dealing with. These are things that I can't necessarily answer for you, but those are things you're going to want to think about during this process. So overall, for me, Printful is a win. I love Printful. They've done very well for my business and really helped me actually scale and grow over time, and it's been very automated for the most part, but there are some other considerations you guys might want to think about. So that is kind of my overall review of Printful. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. And if you guys have experience using Printful, I'd love to hear about your experiences as well in the comments. But as always, links to anything I mentioned in this video, so blog posts, other videos I talked about, those are all going to be linked down below in the description. So I hope you guys got some value out of that video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.